Hi, I'm Alex and I lead product at Fulcrum, and I'm really excited to show you our new quality product. So, before I jump in, a little bit of background. Anything that we do at Fulcrum, we really focus on building functionality and features that actually improve our customers' businesses. And this product is really no exception. This isn't just compliance for the sake of compliance. We're focusing on actually improving production and actually driving positive outcomes for our customers. So, with that, I will jump in. So I'm going to jump through a few different areas in this demo. We're going to go through actually creating quality plans, bubbling drawings, conducting the inspections, and then kind of recapping that data back on the job and in other reporting. There's a lot more. We're just kind of scratching the surface here. But to kind of get that process started, we'll start here on the quality plans section. This is kind of my to-do list as a quality manager of, hey, here's all the things that actually need an inspection plan created and things to be bubbled. So I'll jump in from here and get started on bubbling. So this is our bubbling interface and tool. What we're really trying to do here is minimize data entry. So we still want to have really accurate plans and inspection plans. We don't want to have everyone spending so much time doing all this data entry. So we can support different types of annotations here. You kind of just click, add a bubble, do a highlight, and then our AI in the background is reading these things and attempting to fill them in the right spots here. So we have different types. It's getting the target, the tolerances, the grid location, all of that automatically. We're indicating whether these are critical dimensions, whether it's something that's required for a first article inspection. You can enter your sampling plans here and then associate it with the operation downstream. So that's going to help drive workflow so we know who should actually be taking these measurements or doing the inspection further downstream in this process. Like I said, we can handle different types here. So we can also bubble things like feature control frames, and we'll pick up all of the different symbols and everything there. And then same thing with notes. So just dropping a bubble, highlighting any sort of note, we'll pick that up. So we can also include it on the first article inspection report and make sure we're getting acknowledgement of that downstream as well. One really big feature that we're working on in this area that's kind of still in development is auto bubbling. So if you click this auto bubble, it'll go through, as you saw here, and attempt to find all the spots on the drawing and kind of automatically do all of that work for you. This is also a spot where we're planning to add even more sort of intelligence to it to be able to learn how you like to bubble. What's the pattern that you maybe bubble your drawings in most frequently, so you can kind of mimic that as well. But jumping from here, we'll actually go into the sort of shop side of it. This is how that quality plan will translate over to anyone who's actually executing against that plan. So that may be someone on the shop floor, at a workstation, at the mill, or some other spot actually inspecting things in process, or a quality control team member in the lab. But jumping into here, you'll see the notes requiring some acknowledgement, and then you'll see the sampling plan kind of set up according to however you had set it up in the initial stages. Clicking here though will zoom that person into the exact spot on the drawing, and then as you enter data, you'll start to get visual indications as to whether you're in or out of tolerance, turning this green for intolerance and red for anything that's out of tolerance. And then the last kind of piece of functionality here is the traceability of what tool were we actually using to take this measurement. So once all of the inspection data is actually filled out on the job, and even as it's being filled out in real time, you'll start to see that back in the job screen. So I'm going to jump back over into the main job here. And again, as anyone who's taking inspection, quality control, checkpoint data on this particular job, that'll all start to fill in here in real time. And then you can kind of click and get more information to understand who did what, when, what tool did they use, export that data. And then the other piece of functionality you'll have here is to actually start to generate reports off of all of that inspection data. So The main one that we have built out today is the AS9102 First Article Inspection report. We're actively adding more templates and different reports in here. But yeah, you have kind of the basics, and then Form 3, filling in all of the inspection data from, that was taken on that job to generate, the PDF and the document. And then the other thing that Fulcrum will do is kind of pull together all of these forms. So whether that's your FAIR, your certificate of compliance, any of the certs from all of the raw materials that you were using on this particular job, pulling them all together here so that you can put them all together in a single packet, whether you email that or have to print it out to give it, to your customers, but kind of scooping it all up. So that's kind of the basic sort of end-to-end workflow. The other piece that I will briefly touch on has to do with tool calibration. So we also have a tool database built in for all of your measurement devices. And here what we're really, just capturing is some basics about the tool, but then the last calibration date, your calibration frequency, so we can, kind of alert you to things that are needing to be calibrated, give you kind of a history of everything here as well, and then obviously be able to, trace these back to different jobs. So yeah, as I mentioned, we're really just scratching the surface of what we plan to deliver as it relates to quality control. So follow along for more updates.